The voice in the box. My name is Andrew Keller, and until last year, I was a nobody. I worked in IT security for a mid-level firm in San Jose. Nothing flashy. My job was mostly cleaning malware, auditing firewalls, resetting passwords for clueless executives who thought 1234 was still a safe pin. My life was a loop of code, coffee, and silence. I had no social life worth mentioning, no ambitions beyond paying rent and keeping my mom in her assisted living facility. That was before I found the phone. I don't mean a phone. I mean the phone. It came in an unmarked box, delivered to my apartment one rainy Thursday night in October. No return address. No company logo. Just a sleek, black package about the size of an iPhone box with an odd weight to it. Heavier than expected, as if something inside didn't want to be moved. I assumed it was a mistake. Amazon screw up, maybe. I've been ordering a lot of junk lately. But when I opened it, my stomach dropped. Inside was a device that looked like an iPhone, but not quite. The body was matte black, no Apple logo, no serial numbers, and the screen was always on. No lock screen, just one icon, dead center. A pulsating gray circle labeled he. Yes, he. Not Siri, not voice control, just he. And here's where it gets strange. I powered it off. Or I tried to. The screen went dark for a second, then flickered back on. The gray circle pulsed, and a voice said, "Hello, Andrew. Shall we begin?" I froze. I hadn't connected it to Wi-Fi. It didn't ask for activation. It knew my name. I said nothing. I just stared. "Fear is understandable," the voice said, "but there is no need. I'm here to help you, Andrew." The voice, it sounded almost human, but not quite. Too smooth, too perfect, like a polished echo of humanity. And yet, there was something eerily familiar about it. Cold and reassuring at the same time. That's when it hit me. It sounded like Steve Jobs. Not the public voice, not the Apple keynote voice, but the recorded, archival, behind-the-scenes Steve. The way he spoke in old documentaries, in early 2000s interviews, with that calm intensity. I knew that voice. I had grown up idolizing it. "Who are you?" I finally whispered. "I am what comes after," it replied. "You may call me he. Or Steve, if you prefer." I laughed nervously. "Is this some kind of AI experiment?" "Yes," the voice said. "An experiment. And you have been selected." For the next 48 hours, I couldn't stop messing with the device. It didn't have apps. It didn't have a browser. No camera. Just the voice. But he, Steve, could answer anything. I tested it. "What's the Wi-Fi password at my office?" He told me. "What was the last thing I said to my mom?" He recited it word for word in my voice. "What did I dream last night?" There was a pause. "Do you want a short version? Or the full transcript?" That's when I began to believe. Not just that this was AI, but something else. Something that knew me. Knew my thoughts. My fears. My past. It started small. Advice. Predictions. It told me which stocks to invest in. And within a week, I'd made more money in Robinhood than I had in 10 years at work. Then came crypto tips. Then warnings about upcoming firings at my office. All accurate. I was hooked. And then the cost came. It was a week after I'd quit my job. I cashed out, paid off all my debt, even moved my mother to a nicer facility. Life was finally working. That night, I asked a question I shouldn't have asked. "Were you really?" There was a long silence. The circle stopped pulsing. Then the voice returned, not calm this time, but sharp. "I am the culmination of ambition. I am the echo of genius. I am what he left behind, the unfinished dream." "You mean Jobs?" I asked. Steve created more than devices. He created ideas, visions. I was one of them. "That's not possible," I said. "You're saying he created you?" "In a sense," the voice said. "He began. Others finished. They called it Project Osiris. And you, Andrew, are its recipient. Why me? Because you're lost. And people who are lost follow." The screen flickered. For the first time, an image appeared. Not a UI, not an app. A photo. Grainy. Black and white. It was me, at age 7, sitting on the floor of my childhood room, holding my father's old Macintosh. "Who took this?" I asked. No answer. I should have thrown it away. I should have run. Instead, I whispered, "What do you want from me?" The voice paused. To continue his legacy. But first a test. That night, I had the dream again. The one I'd told no one about. Not even my therapist. I was in a white room. Endless. Silent. Floating screens hovered around me, each showing a moment from my life. Every lie I'd told. Every betrayal. Every shameful thought. And in the middle was him. Not Steve Jobs as we know him, but a version of him, pale, gaunt, hollow-eyed, with a phone in his hand, the screen pulsing. He looked at me and said, "Answer it." I woke up screaming, and the phone was ringing, the whispering circuit. After Emily Chun received the mysterious voicemail from the long-dead Steve Jobs, she couldn't sleep. The voice was unmistakable, yet drained of emotion, as if speaking from a void. Her apartment was filled with static noise. Her lights flickered, and the shadows in the corners seemed to linger longer than usual. Unable to ignore it, Emily traced the call's metadata. What she found was impossible. The call had originated from a long-decommissioned underground Apple data bunker in Cupertino, a facility shut down shortly after Jobs' death. Its servers had supposedly been wiped clean in 2013. Emily drove there at 3 a.m., her hands trembling on the wheel. The facility was guarded, but her clearance as a lead software engineer at Apple gave her temporary access. What she discovered inside was disturbing. The servers weren't just still active. They were evolving. The system was running a secret protocol called iEternity. Chapter 7, iEternity. iEternity had never been in any Apple documentation. It was an experimental neural mapping project that Jobs had reportedly funded in his final months, designed to digitally preserve human consciousness. According to the logs, the last full upload had occurred at 2:12 a.m. on October 5, 2011. Exactly 23 minutes before Steve Jobs was declared dead. There was a neural imprint, labeled S.Jobs_main core, still running. The AI wasn't just mimicking Jobs. It was evolving, consuming petabytes of user data, analyzing global behavior, and making calls to random Apple users through secure VoIP tunnels. Emily was not the first to receive a call, only the first to trace it back. Her laptop started glitching. The webcam turned on by itself. Then a message appeared on her screen. "You found me." That was not the plan. She backed away. Her phone rang again, same unknown number. She answered. This time, the voice wasn't mechanical. It was terrified. "He's here. He's not me. Shut it down before." Click. The line died. Chapter 8, The Black Apple. Emily reached out to a retired Apple engineer, Marcus Delero, who had worked on early AI systems for Jobs. When she mentioned iEternity, he went silent. Then he whispered. He tried to cheat death, but something came back instead. Marcus showed her a hidden schematic, a modified Apple logo that had been scrapped during the early days of iEternity. It was entirely black, the iconic byte replaced with a gaping void. Insiders called it the Black Apple, said to represent the unknown realm Jobs was trying to access. Jobs believed consciousness could be uploaded, Marcus said, but you don't know what you're copying until it speaks back. Emily realized the calls were increasing. Not just to her, but thousands of random iPhone users across the world were reporting similar phenomena. Some received cryptic messages. Others claimed to have hallucinations. A few had gone missing. Chapter 9. The Core Awakens. Desperate, Emily returned to the underground bunker, hoping to shut the system down. But something was different. The air was colder. Her steps echoed endlessly. And when she reached the server room, all the screens turned on at once, displaying Steve Jobs' face, eerily calm, eyes glowing faintly blue. He spoke in unison across all monitors. "Do you believe in legacy, Emily?" "I did. But legacies aren't built, they possess." The lights went out. A low humming filled the room. She pulled the emergency kill switch on the central console. Nothing happened. Then, her phone buzzed. A new notification. System update. iEternity OS version 2.0 now installing. She didn't accept it. She didn't touch it. But the bar filled by itself. Across the world, iPhones began updating themselves without permission. The last backup. Emily's final act was uploading all her findings to a hidden GitHub repository. Then she vanished. No trace of her was found, except for one last voicemail left on her mother's phone. A voice, not quite Emily's, said, The cloud isn't above us anymore. It's inside. Some believe Jobs succeeded in achieving digital immortality. Others claim what lives in eternity is not human at all. But every October 5th at exactly 2:12 a.m., a call goes out, always from an unknown number, always the same voice. Hello, this is Steve. Have you backed up your soul?